Pat, you were telling me about a story about Stevie Stiletto, Ray teaching you how to play piano.
It might be a degree or two off.
When I first started playing with Ray, he made it very clear he wanted me to be the best that I could be, and he had a piano, whole stand-up piano in the house, so we'd get a ton of beer and sit around, and he would teach me how to play the piano because it translates exactly to guitar and bass. So, yeah, I took piano lessons from Ray in '91.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah,
It's around.
Black piano.
The black one, yeah.
So
I think
it's in
this to me.
It's in the Warehouse Studios.
Oh no shit!
Yeah.
It's an old spin-it stand-up, like it's like a school piano.
Yep.
Yeah. Wow.
They got it in the Warehouse Studios.
I didn't know where it ended up, but that was the house on.
SRS.
That was the house on Delwood, and it was summer of '91. Ray came back from San Francisco. Called up Frankie.
I
don't know if he got. I don't even know if he got Tim Wester yet.
It sounded off to me. It might not be.
But that was shortly afterwards, and then he called me up and was like, "Hey man, I'm back, and I'm putting together a band." So I left. I dropped everything at the beach and moved out, having a place to stay. So we were in his. It was like his sister's house, or I can't remember what the relationship was, but the house was available and had no AC. Oh man, it stunk. We had all this junk in it. We had middle of summer, we're pulling all this stuff out of the attic, and God, we just stunk and we're drunk all the time. But that's where
Stinking drunk.
Yeah, we were stinking drunk, that's for sure. But yeah, we got Continental Ray, which was Stevie Stiletto by any other name. And so like our first show was at the Milk Bar, and Ray put together this flyer, had pitchfork on it, and 666, and something else about the devil or the end times, and Tim was like, he was always real serious, and he was kind of religious, I guess. And he was like, man, Ray, I don't know about all that 666 business. I'm like, no, man, it's for shock. We don't really believe it, But he never looked at us the same. He thought we were like Satan worshipers or something. It's just like shock. Absolutely. What's really funny is Ray. I think Ray was raised Catholic, and so was I. We were like two Catholics, but to a Southern Baptist, you might as well be a Satanist.
Yeah. I mean, that's pretty much what they believe.
But we got along real well because of, similar backgrounds, and we both went to school with nuns and shit.
Let's go.
The neat old nuns.
What was your first band called?
That was.
Well, I played
Suburban Relapse.
Suburban Relapse. Who was in that?
That was me on vocals, Sarge was on bass, Tim McIntyre on guitar, and Mike Mitchell played drums.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you guys record anything?
No. We played at Einstein and Go-Go though.
Okay.
And our set was so short, and most of the guys were underage, and we didn't want to drink and get drunk. And it was the middle of the day. It was like a matinee. So we drank a bunch of Jolt Cola. So we played our 17-minute set in like 8 minutes.
Oh my gosh.
It was like we went from sounding like the Adolescents to like DRI. I mean, it was like so fast. So Tammy was mad. She had like a lot of time for us. She was like, when we were done, she was like, "That's it," and Sarge was like, "That's it." He mocked her. She's like, "No, you guys got to play more. You're still on stage." So we played the set backwards. We played it to the end and then back to the beginning.
Nice.
Just played it twice and slowed it down the second time so it sounded like all new songs.
That's great. Okay, so why did you guys start listening to punk and hardcore?
Energy.
I started listening to punk just because we're roommates when I was living in Southern California.
And what's your name?
Wayne.
What's your name?
Garfield.
And what's your name?
Pat.
Awesome.
But wasn't it kind of natural to go to punk after, like, because you could go to new wave, but then when you wanted it to get harder, you went to punk. And
Yeah.
like, because if you were growing up if you were coming out of the disco era in the late 70s and you had Violent Femmes, which was like, you thought they were punk, but they weren't hard enough, you know? And then if you wanted it harder, you went to like DRI and Bad Religion and you heard about Henry Rollins and you heard about, and then you watched, what was it? The Decline of Western Civilization.
Yes.
And you saw Fear and you went, have a beer with Fear, you know? So it was kind of a natural progression. And then you kind of went into, from punk went into like hardcore and metal. And there was a few years of that. And then heroin came along. So then you had Alice in Chains and all that other stuff. So it's all good, you know. It's not just one genre. I don't think it's all music, right?
Right. Well, so let's see. What was the first punk album that you bought or stole?
So my first that I can remember buying was that would have been the that comp. More songs about anger, fear, death, and sex.
Okay.
And it was a compilation, and it got a kid from here to see what was going on the West Coast, and you got all those bands all at one time, and it was really cool.
That's awesome. How did you find that?
I don't really know, because there was no internet. There wasn't like, I think I just heard it. I heard it, or somebody said, or you would go to the record store and you would ask them, hey, what's new? And they're like, oh man, I just picked up this just came in, and they would play it, and you're like, you'd be looking through stuff and you go, you know, that sounds cool. I think I'm gonna get that. Can I get that one? And they're like, yeah, I got 3 copies left, and they would get it for you.
That's nice. What record store?
You had to go see Sam at Turtles,
Yeah.
because that's where she worked at, and that's where you bought your concert tickets, and you stood in line and you waited and you went there for the new releases, and you went there it was a lot cooler, I think.
Did you ever go to Wags?
I did. Record Hound.
Yes.
Out on Kingsley?
Yes.
Yeah, whatever happened to that guy?
He's still in St. Augustine. He's supposed to be doing one of these.
Is he Tone Bender? He's not Tone Bender. He's not in the business anymore.
No.
Yeah. We used to go to Wags. You'd go to Wags. You'd go to Einstein's.
Yeah.
You'd go to Turtles because they had the releases. And there was another couple ones. There was one over in Arlington on like
Lone Star. Was it Lone Star?
no, it was like
Arlington Road.
it was like Arlington Road past. It was over by the First Baptist Church. There was right across the street. There was a record store, and I don't remember the name of it.
Oh,
It's
wow.
kind of like Vinyl Solution,
Something. It was.
Vinyl Fever.
Yeah.
You know, have one of those cool record store names. But yeah, I remember that one had like import bins. Import bins is where you found a lot of,
Yeah.
you know, weird music that turned out to be punk rock or whatever. I think my gateway drug though was probably, well, 2. My cousin made me a compilation, a mixtape, for Christmas '79, and it had Ramones on it, Stranglers, Sex Pistols, Squeeze, Elvis Costello, shit. But I really gravitated to the Ramones. They were cool. I thought they were funny, and I thought they were dangerous, kind of, but they were funny. They had a sense of humor. I was always drawn to the funny side of it. And then I saw Devo on Saturday Night Live, and that kind of set the die. I was done.
Yeah. That's
That was-
awesome.
Oh, and I remember seeing Fear on. I saw Fear on Saturday Night Live when it was the Halloween episode with Donald Pleasant was the host. I've seen the video recently, but yeah, I saw it and I was like, what the because I was little. I mean, not little, but I was like
Yeah.
13 or 14.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was pretty crazy, and all those kids jumping around, man. I didn't know it was Minor Threat and their friends from DC and all those guys, but it was just like, what is going on? You know, because in '76 and '77, punk rock was on the news. It was like they were talking about it on NBC Nightly News. My dad always watched the news, and I'm, you know, peripherally and in the background, and I'm overhearing it, and they were like, "Don't let punk rock take your children." You know, it was like it was a cult, and like people were being brainwashed.
Yeah,
It turns out it was absolutely true.
Exactly. Just
Here I
escape
am.
from one cult to the other.
Brainwashed in a cult. So, but it's been fun. I've only been playing bass for 40 years, so
Yeah. Okay, so what was can you list all of the bands you played in?
not with a gun to my head. I'll miss.
What was the
miss a-
second?
Yeah, exactly.
I'll miss a
Look at
few. Yeah.
What was the second band you played in?
Well, that would have been the early blossom of the Creeps, and that was Code Blue, and that was short lived. That's what happened. There was Sarge left. I think he went to start Scab, and I always thought their motto should have been, "We're Scab. Don't pick on us. We'll never heal." But they were Scattered Corpses All Bloody. It was an acronym. They were too full of themselves. They were funny. But anyway, so Joey joined the band. I moved from singing to playing bass. Mike Mitchell was still playing drums for a short time, but then he didn't have a drum set. I don't know what happened to it. I think he borrowed shit, but he never really had his own stuff. And then Danny came in. When Danny came in, it was me on bass, Tim on guitar, Joey on vocals, and we changed our name to the Creeps.
Nice.
And that's how the Creeps formed. And then we were together for a long time and did a little touring and played all over. And we used to barge parties at the beach, which was really fun. Scooter and those guys, he used to have a band called Dog Show Indian. I don't even know what they were called then, but that was one of the bands they had, and they would always get these parties. But we were friends with them, so we'd show up, find out where the party was, show up, and they'd be like, "Hey, can we play?" And they'd take a break, and we'd jump up there, and then the cops would come. Always, every
Yes.
time. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Yeah. Huh?
Cops would come when you played.
I think it was a timing thing, or it could have
They
been
were
the
coming-
screaming
they were
"fuck
coming
the."
anyway.
It could have been.
It's
It could have been
worked out.
screaming "fuck the government" at high volume.
Yeah.
Or wish the leaders could see what I saw when I was on acid.
Oh.
The parents always loved that one. We were a crowd favorite among parents.
What was your favorite venue back then?
Oh, favorite venue back then. I hated them all, really, because I loved playing like parties. Parties
Okay.
were always the best. Because like, I'm not gonna see. This is that whole statute of limitations I was talking about.
Okay.
Like some stories don't need to be told yet.
Just tell us what you
'Cause
want.
people are still alive and probably still mad at me. They know who they are.
If you're still alive, you're still mad at you? Is that
No,
what you
I said there
Oh,
are
I
people
think
that
that
are
was true,
still.
though. I thought that was a true statement.
Oh, there are people that are still alive, and some are probably still mad at me.
Okay, so who are the friends that came out to your shows and supported you?
Oh God, we had a ton of people from the beach. It was
Shout out if you can.
well, gosh,
Okay.
man, you put me on the spot with
All right.
names. I could see everyone's faces. I mean, of course, Vogel was always there. Vogel was always like right there. He was our Trevor in a way. You know, he always like rated our beer and sometimes gave us some of our own beer. You know, while he stole what he could, and bumming cigarettes. Actually, he smoked cloves, so.
Did you how often do you play out?
Like with the
How,
band?
with the Creeps?
Oh, shit. I don't even remember. I'll tell you,
So like
we
every
play-
weekend or once
pretty
a month?
much somewhere.
Okay.
Yeah, we practice 6-7 nights a week.
Where'd you
I mean,
practice?
well, we had a mini storage on Mayport Road for a while, and it was behind the Hardys, which is now gone. And then we moved up, we really moved up big in the world. We moved up to Pan Am Mini Storage, and it was air conditioned, it was climate
Ooh.
control. And we burned that bridge quick. Leaving like cases of beer cans in the parking lot. Yeah, we really fucked up. We pissed off a lot of people. Danny had a punch and kick was always fun to play. That was always
Where
fun.
was that?
And we all Post and King.
Post and King.
And Cindy's Good Times Pub was pretty fun too. We used to play with Stevie Stiletto a lot back then. We were like the little brother band from the beach. Then whenever they had a decent show, they'd put us on the bill. I remember Ray had gone on tour, and they had All coming, and he was like, "Do you want to book this show?" And I was like, "Oh man, I've never booked a show before, but sure, I'll give it a shot." So I contact All. The band manager sends me a contract that's like 2 inches thick, and the writer's like fucking everything. They want towels, they want waters, they want a case of domestic beer, they want a case of imported beer, they wanted this and that. And so I called him immediately. I was like, "Man, I can't get you guys any of that. I'm just a guy in the band trying to book a show. You know, you guys are on tour." And he's like, "Oh, no, we ask for everything so we can get something." I'm like, "Oh, all right, well, you guys can have like the door." You know, and it was pretty cool because it was Dave Smalley when he was singing for
Okay.
from DYS, and then later Dag Nasty. Yeah, so that was at Post and King.
Awesome.
Yeah,
What venue was posted? Was that?
Post and King. It was
It's still there.
yeah,
It's
it's still there.
there.
But
But
it's,
it's like it's
yeah, it's a gay bar.
It's a gay bar.
yeah.
Then it was an old man drinking bar, and it was way dangerous because the what would happen is we'd book these shows and all the punks would start showing up, but the regulars would still be there.
Yeah.
And of course, the owner wasn't going to charge the locals, so they hung out and played pool and got pissed off, got drunk up and got mad, and then got mad at the punks, and skinheads would, you know, show up and they'd be like, you know, "Where's the war, boy?" And then and then next thing you know, it was right there in the Post and King. It'd be a full-on riot. It was great, man. Oh my God. Just grabbing our shit, trying to get out of there without getting killed by either side. Because at some point it was just a rolling fight of fists flying in every direction. It was great. It was good times. Punk rock was really dangerous back then, you know? And 730 Club was like that too. We never played there. We were getting broken up by then, and I was on to something else. So then the Creeps transformed. Danny, we broke up and then reformed without Danny. I don't remember who quit or how it went down, but we reformed with Marty Moore playing drums, and he played for a little while. So we added Danny as a wimp to our to our set list. That's kind of a little shot. But yeah, that's all I want to say about that.
So what about magazines? Was there any magazines that like influenced you?
I don't know if they influenced me, but they turned
Or
out
that
a
you
lot
dug.
of bands that I hadn't heard of. Flipside, Maximum Rock and Roll. Oh gosh, there was one from Massachusetts, because I was really into the Boston hardcore scene. I really liked a lot of the Boston bands. I really was into Gangrene and FU's, DYS, The Freeze was massively influential. Really, I wrote a lot of songs with the Freeze in the back of my mind, you know, when I was with the Creeps. That was a really, really big influence. But yeah, it was what's it called? Suburban Lawn or something like that. I don't know. Suburban something.
How did like skateboarding and your visual art play into your bands? Did you like make t-shirts or something, or flyers?
No, I didn't make flyers back then. That was a little later. That was a little bit later. I started making flyers, but
What about Glory Hole?
that was way later. That was like 91. That was after my second. No, after my first go around with Stevie Stiletto. That was later.
Okay.
That was like noise band.
Great stickers.
Oh, I got full on into the urban guerrilla like propaganda machine. I just made this. Okay, so he brought up a band called Glory Hole. It was Dan Brown, Marty Moore, me, and a guy named Brian Truman singing. You may remember Brian from Mr. Dunderbox in the mall. He worked in the back. And he used to like slip us beers.
I
and
worked
shit.
at the mall.
Did you?
Oh,
You
yeah.
probably knew Brian. Anyway, long story short, we put this band together called Glory Hole, and I had access to a desktop copy machine, and I started making all these flyers. Like, I used the two twins on motorcycles, the heaviest twins
From the Guinness Book of World Records.
That was where I got all my stuff for my flyers, was Guinness Book of World Records.
Oh, okay.
And I just like copy the pictures and blow them up, and then I put our logo on it, and then went around and just put them up. No information other than our name and a bizarre picture. There's a chick from the hot dog eating contest. She's sitting there with a huge pile of hot dogs in front of her. The two fat twins. Everyone was bummed when we started playing out because they were like, "Where are the dudes?
We're the
fat dudes.
We're the fat dudes.
We're the fat dudes." But anyway, and then Dan went on to play with. First, he played with Jeff Evans from the Pontiac Brothers, which was highly influential, kind of noisy Midwest AMREP style band. And then they started, he did his own things, Monsieur Jeffrey Evans, and then he did a thing called 68 Comeback, but then he ended up being in Royal Trucks and was literally like, there was like 1 degree of separation from like John Spencer Blues Explosion and friggin' Pussy Galore from us. So I always thought that was pretty fucking cool. He's in England now.
Yeah.
We're still friends on Facebook. But
Yeah, that's amazing.
Dwayne is ready to answer some questions and give me a little break.
Bum-ba-dum. All right, so let's talk about bands you've been in.
Here I've only been in a couple of bands. I've been in Sib, and there was a doom metal band called Dead Scroll that I was in for a bit.
Okay, and then
And Tabeersco, which is where we are now.
where are we now?
Tabeersco.
Tabeersco?
Yeah.
Woohoo!
Nice shirt.
Yeah, do you like my shirt? So, all right, so tell me about how did you end up in Tabeersco?
It actually started as, I don't want to say it started as a joke, but it kind of started as a joke. We were talking about the Honeypot Bike Collective earlier, and we had this little spot that was behind a brewery called Tabula Rasa, and they used to do an open mic night. So me and Garfield joked that it'd be cool to get an acoustic guitar and do the open mic night, and we were going to get Pat an acoustic bass, and we were going to come up with a couple of songs and do it, because those two knew each other from back in the day. I worked with him when I first got to Florida, and then obviously still friends when I left and opened my own shop, and Pat was a customer at my shop. So we kind of joked around that we could get this together and do a couple of punk covers on acoustic guitars at Tabula Rasa.
Nice.
And unfortunately it never kind of worked out, but we were doing another event at the Honeypot, and we were playing with our band Sib, which was more of like a chicken pickin' soul kind of a band, which was kind of, and that band, I was playing bass for that band, and Garfield was playing drums. And then he said, "Do you think Pat would be down to do a quick set at this thing?" And I was like, "I don't know, when is it?" And he goes, "This weekend." And so we put together, it was basically like 5.5 songs, and
like 2 rehearsals.
some covers, 2 rehearsals, and we did it, and that was kind of the starting point from what ended up becoming Tabeersco, or I guess we called it that from the beginning.
You said I'll do it, but we have to call the band Tabeersco. But why did we call the band Tabeersco? Because we drank so much PBR.
We were drinking a bunch of PBR, and
all
we
the
would
time.
And we would toast the PBR with Tabasco on the rim, and that is a Tabeersco. So I thought that'd be a great name for a band, and then we ended up doing it. So, and then
Nice.
but we prior to this, there was another event just before everything started getting locked down,
Yeah.
and we had got together with some other friends, but this was just after everything was locked down. This was after, so this was
right when
as
everything
stuff was
opened
starting to open back up. and we got together with Tess from St. Augustine was playing bass, Dave from Grab Bag was playing the other guitar player, and Nick was singing. I was playing guitar.
And we didn't have a name yet.
And we didn't have a name, and we were coming up with all kinds of names, and I thought Tabeersco would be a great name for that. And then somebody got sick, and then we decided not to do that gig that we were going to do, and then this thing fell into place, and then
just like
Awesome.
and then here we are 3 years later.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, and so since you've been to Tabeersco, what have you recorded?
We recorded a 7-song EP.
Called?
Right, 7 songs?
It was a 6-song EP and an extra song, but it's a self-titled. It's just called Tabeersco.
Okay.
And it's originals and 1 cover, right?
And is
We recorded Yellow by
And
Coldplay.
shout out to Roy Peak too, because that was
And
an
Roy,
awesome experience.
Roy Peak did a great
Peak audio,
recording.
Peak audio.
Awesome.
Great
Yeah.
place.
He recorded you. He's recorded a lot of good people.
Yeah, he's got a great space. He's affordable and he's real cool. Like a great place to put out a little EP. But but Dwayne was saying like we did 7 songs.
So we did 7 songs, and some of them were stuff that we had put together, and some of them were from one of my previous bands, and so it was really just to see what we could put down, and then a couple of songs that we put together here, and one that I resurrected from a band from the early 90s that I was in,
Okay.
so back in Hawaii.
Awesome. So that's cool. And so you want to tell me about what's happening? Your next show coming up?
Exciting. Flag on Fire. We're the opening local with Will from Whole Wheat Bread. Legend Will.
Oh yeah.
We're excited. It'll be our first time at the new Underbelly Albatross place. So we'll be excited to play that show. Even though we've had some great shows at the Little Eclipse place.
Yeah, that was a great show.
I think it's been great. We've had good sound every time. I don't think everybody else has great sound, but we've sounded good up there. So, but yeah, so we're excited to do that show. We're excited that Will asked us to. It's their CD release or album release.
Yeah.
Nice.
And then he goes, "Oh man, we want to get you on." So like, that was nice. That was like it's like a trophy, right? What's the
Right.
trophy? You do good work. The reward is great work, more work, right?
Yes.
So we got a little reward, a little recognition for getting asked to do that, because we are the old guys, I think.
Very cool.
So,
very cool.
I'm excited. I can't wait to do that show.
And so where can we find the music? It's on the Bandcamp.
It's on every
It's on
stream.
all those streaming platforms: Bandcamp, iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, and everything. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. I'm rolling.
Okay, what were we were talking about? Oh, production.
How you ended up at Warehouse Studio?
Oh, through Riboflavin,
And
because
how many years were you there?
I was there for 2002 to. I was there from '94 to 2002, I think, for a long time.
What notable bands did you record?
I recorded. I got credit for. I did a Diablos demo and a Grundig demo. I did Ryan Turk, Lighthouse, and I did Lighthouse with Ryan Turk and a bunch of his bands. And I did the Tracy Shed record there, if you guys remember her.
I did.
That was really cool. I did Dot Wilder. I got credit for production credit for a Molly Hatchet record.
Wow.
Did you do Stevie Stiletto?
I didn't. That was right before me.
Okay.
But the Attitude is across the street.
Attitude.
And then I did.
Okay, Stevie Stiletto got on Attitude Records, which was home of 95 South. And 95 South was the creators of the song.
Was it Whoop?
Whoop! There it is! Anyway, yes. They wanted a rock band, and they wanted a really good original punk, I guess.
Hometown Heroes. You guys did American Indian?
I was on that. That was Lauren playing bass,
Oh, okay.
Neil on drums, Frankie on guitar, and Ray on everything else. Because he was on everything at that point.
It wasn't an
here's
instrument, it was a state of mind.
So check this out. They recorded that album. I thought they did it at Warehouse, but obviously not. Anyway, they they had gone to Europe and they came back and they did this big record release at the Milk Bar. And Ray had already pissed off several of his ex-girlfriends, and he told me this story. He goes, man, I'm up there, I'm playing, and all of a sudden I saw this object. It was green, and it was beautiful, it looked like a gem. And I'm singing, and this gem is just floating in the air. It's emerald green, and it got closer and closer. Well, he got smashed in the face with a Heineken bottle. And a chunk of glass stuck right in the middle of his forehead.
Oh, no.
Blood starts shooting straight up. Well, you know, the Milk Bar is like, what? The ceiling was like 8 feet anyway. So, like, blood's hitting the ceiling. He's still singing until he got woozy, and they put a rag on his head, and that was the end of the show. But yeah,
Oh
he
my
was
gosh.
like, man, it was beautiful. This object just
Green sparkly object coming at me.
looked
Ouch.
like a gem. Oh, man. Good times. Ray had some great
Thanks for doing this.
Yeah, R.I.P. Ray Ray, and all right, so I'm backing up.
Okay.